Is it AI that's used to put together these reports now?
I can't speak to that. I would defer you to the Department of Health and Human Services. What I know is just what I told you.
Look at that awkward smile of then what I told you. Aww. She can't speak to that. It's amazing because Karoline Leavitt is perfectly willing to lie utterly constantly. Just vicious, terrible lies. And I think in that case, it is so obviously clear that the Health and Human Services Department putting together their Make America Healthy Again crap has been using AI, and we'll give you all of the details on that. Their Making Our Children Healthy Again report was clearly made by AI, that she doesn't want to go on record when it's already been proven, and that's why she does the uncomfortable little thing. It's an odd crack in normally her, I think, pretty good ability to keep it together while telling lies that she knows to be untrue. But in any event, we're like I said, we'll get to the evidence. Let's jump to a little bit more of the interaction about the fact that this administration is once again using AI in place of people actually doing work.
A notice investigation found that the hallmark MAHA Commission report that was released last week cites studies that appear to not exist. We know that because in part we reached out to some of the listed authors who said that they didn't write the studies cited. So I want to ask, does the White House have confidence that the information coming from HHS can be trusted?
Yes, we have complete confidence in Secretary Kennedy and his team at HHS. I understand there were some formatting issues with the MAHA report that are being addressed, and the report will be updated, but it does not negate the substance of the report, which, as you know, is one of the most transformative health reports that has ever been released by the federal government, and is backed on good science that has never been recognized by the federal government.
In defense of the government, it might not have been recognized because a lot of it doesn't actually exist because AI just made it up. It was a hallucination, so we can't be really too hard on the government about that. Formatting, it's just the formatting. Formatting is like when you meant to do like a numbered bullet point list, but it just did regular bullet points, or like the font was too big. No, this wasn't formatting. This was, it made up studies that don't exist because it's not a person and it doesn't know what it's talking about. And so, no, I don't think it's actually one of the most important health studies ever put out. I don't think you do either. I don't think they know what's even in it because people weren't actually involved in this seemingly very much. Hey, there we go. Thank you. Thank you to the control room. They seem to be fixing things behind the scenes. In any event, there were 522 footnotes in the initial version of the report. 37 appear multiple times, which is not a mistake a person makes. It's a mistake that the AI can make. Other citations include the wrong author. Several studies cited do not exist at all. So the details are wrong, or it was literally just invented. Here's an example. There's a reference to a study titled "Overprescribing of Oral Corticosteroids for Children with Asthma." The study does not actually exist, okay? I guess the conclusion still exists. They believe that kids are getting over-medicated or whatever, but it's based on absolutely nothing. There's references in some of these URLs to oocyte, which is, I don't know what that is, and I don't think any of them do. That's apparently a marker that shows that OpenAI has used it. But again, the issue is that we are being told by these people, you can't trust scientists, you can't trust doctors. Who you can trust is what is left of RFK Jr. after the animals have picked through it. You can trust him. He is coming out and saying, I'm not gonna let scientists in the government publish anymore because the journals are all BS. You can't trust the journals, okay? And Trump just put out an executive order saying that the government can't rely on scientific evidence unless they can do all this stuff to prove that it's not biased and everything. So nobody has taken scientific research seriously, except now you have RFK Jr. and Trump. Meanwhile, they're literally making up studies and not copying to it when it is indisputable. These are not serious people. They don't actually care about your kids. And in addition to all the stuff we reported on yesterday about them pulling contracts for vaccines, which is critically important, and almost nobody watched that video, this does not bode well for America. Brett, what do you think?
Oh my God, I love this so much. This is one of my favorite stories because they cited AI and tried to get away with it because either they never thought they'd ever be questioned, which is the goal of the Trump administration, never question me, as evidenced by who has been removed from that press room, which no doubt will include the woman who asked that question, or they are so stupid that they think that grabbing all this stuff, and they either themselves can't tell it that there's an AI report, or they're just asking AI to pull these reports together and not checking them.
Here's what they probably said. They said, give me studies that show that kids are over medicated. I think that was the prompt. And it was like, okay, I guess it would look like this if we had a steroid one. I think that's what actually happened.
Like, bro, we didn't have measles for a very long time. And then people like RFK did the whitest thing you can do, which is give yourself problems we've already solved. And just for the purpose of feeling less bored and more interesting. That is it. The only way you can be whiter than what I described is to also be a Kennedy. And he's doubled that up. I mean, that's it. It's so insane. And it's like the AI is doing what most people these days do. I'm not saying that that's exactly what a large language model, predictive model is, but it's kind of that. And what most people who like what the conclusions recently of RFK, ever since he stopped being like, let's just get toxins out of the water, like everybody does that. I want to feel smarter and more interesting than other people, despite what science says. So I will replace my definition of science with some weird bastardization that calls it a cult. And then instead of science, which is people, quote, doing their own research, they're going to say, I do my own research. But since they've ignored science, they can't recognize when their own research that they're doing is BS AI with empty tokens it delivered.
I think it's two levels of the irony of do your own research. So first of all, you could do your own research to then find studies to put in. They didn't do that. They were like, okay, just give me studies. They didn't even check them, which is way quicker than actually doing your own research. You didn't even check what it produced. I'm surprised the prompts weren't still in what they submitted at that point.
No, John, you don't understand. The do your own research crowd, that's so yesterday. This is the new AI research crowd, which it's actually do my own research. They tell AI to do my own research.
Do my own research, yeah. And I want to remind everyone, they also apparently used ChatGPT to create Trump's tariff plans. ChatGPT was producing the same formula that he did. And all the while, we're being told, you like poor working class middle, you're all lazy. You don't get it. You're not like these hard workers, like these rich people, which I'm gonna define as hardworking people. And meanwhile, they're just using ChatGPT. And I'm sure that's probably how they found the Alien Enemies Act. They were just like, is there anything like really dark from American history that I could use to get rid of all the brown folks or whatever? And it was like, well, I mean, I guess technically there was the Alien Enemies Act back in the day. I feel like that we have actual people struggling to survive, working hard under incredibly difficult and worsening situations. And then you have these lazy ass people ChatGPTing our way to fascism. Wonderful.